Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We have a great show for you today, and as always, if you want to call and ask questions, you can call in right now at 323-870-3857, and we'll be here till about 9 o'clock tonight. And today, we're going to talk about Beeb. The man is coming back. Floyd Mayweather. Beeb, he's coming back. He's fighting. What? He said he's coming back, Beeb.
Well, he'd be fighting exhibitions. He's not like coming back.
No, he's fighting tough guys, man.
Yeah, okay.
Tension. Yeah, I would like to see the rematch with Tension, honestly.
Big rematch with Tension.
That's a great fight right there, man. Mayweather making a comeback, daddy.
Yeah.
That's how he's doing it. That's how he's doing it, Beeb. He's doing it big. Doing it large.
I can't wait.
You sound very convincing. And Luis Neri does it again. This guy, it's like the Godfather. Like, Fredo, you broke my heart. You do it again. Every time he fights, he does it. He does it every time. But first, we'll get started with the Fox pay-per-view. Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz for the WBC heavyweight title. Deontay Wilder retains his WBC heavyweight title over Luis Ortiz by 7th round murder. I'll tell you what, man, that KO was just insane. He hit him with that shot, and you just saw his lights go out. You just seen it. He hit him, and then boom. You saw when he was on the floor, I looked at his eyes, he ain't getting up, son. He's done.
Did you see the face he made?
He was all contorted. That's the thing. His face was all contorted.
His face went like... Oh my God!
It was just contorted, son. The muscles just like the muscle just took over. He had no control over it, But I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you this: the fight was all Ortiz. He completely outboxed Wilder in just about every round. But like Wilder said at the end, man, all it takes is one. In the 7th round, with under about 10 seconds left, Wilder blasted Ortiz with a right hand that put Ortiz out. I mean, it was like, it was just a straight shot. It was just a straight shot, man. I got to be honest, man. I think Wilder is the most exciting fighter in boxing. He reminds me a lot of, and I know, just bear with me here. You remember Terry Norris? He reminds me a lot of Terry Norris in the sense that, like, Terry Norris, every time you fought, your heart's in your throat every time he fought, because he's either going to outbox you and land that big knockout shot, or he's going to get KO'd. There's no two ways about it. There was no ever like where he's coming back, it's going to be a blood and guts fight. Listen, he's either going to get you or you're going to get him. It's that simple. You know what I mean? It's that simple. So that's kind of who he reminds me of. He is so flawed. Wilder is so flawed that when you watch him, you could see he can get clipped at any time. If he's in there with a big puncher, he can get clipped at any time, but he could also land the shot that puts you out anytime. It's like two guys with a machine gun in there, man. Listen, man, I tell you, he's on pay-per-view. Bottom line is I'm watching it. I could talk all the smack I want before the fight. Bottom line is I watch it because they're just exciting. He's just exciting, man. All three judges had Luis Ortiz ahead at the time of the stoppage. Not by like 1 or 2, by like a lot. Like 5 rounds to 2 or 5 rounds to 1, I think it was. 5 rounds to 1, and I think one had it 4 rounds to 2. Either way, he was way ahead. I had him up 5 rounds to 1 at the time of the stoppage. After the fight, though, Wilder had nothing but respect for Ortiz. How can anybody not like this guy? He's a showman. He does what he needs to do in the press conferences to promote the fight. He's nice to everyone. He's taking pictures with people on his way back to the dressing room. He's a class act, man. He really is. He really is a class act. I don't know how you can not like Wilder, But that being said, Beeb, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a champion that is as flawed as Wilder be so successful?
Johnny Ruiz, maybe.
That's a good. Well, no, you know what? Because Ruiz had a game plan. Ruiz, Wilder honestly doesn't. His only game plan is to land his right hand. That's it. But Ruiz was that hold. I'll wrestle you. I'll get a few shots, and yeah.
But the thing about it is, I think Wilder's getting better. I think his jabs has gotten a lot better.
You think so?
Yeah, I just think the way he sets that right hand up.
Did you see the left hands he was throwing yesterday?
The hooks, but again, but again, you have to understand what he's doing.
What is he doing? He's throwing bad shots.
Those were throwaway punches. He was trying to get Ortiz into position number one, and he was trying to line him up with the right hand. He was trying to move him into his right hand by throwing that punch.
It's possible. It's possible. And when we look at it now, we can say, yeah, that was the case. But they were going on and on about how he was practicing his left hand, and his left hook looked awful. Every punch he threw. I told my dad, maybe in the fourth or fifth round, I said, you know what? I would pay money to see Wilder throw a straight shot. All of his punches, even his right, it's like he has
that right hand at the end was a straight shot.
That was a straight shot, and it was the only one he threw all night. Only one he threw.
But if you go back and watch the fight, Wilder was going he wasn't really throwing that left hook. It was basically a decoy punch. It was like when Mickey Ward used to throw that fake hook upstairs to open up the body shot. He was throwing that basically to push Ortiz closer to the center and maneuver him so he can line him up for the right hand. That's what because watch how many times when he did that, you see how he kept trying to throw the right hand afterwards?
Yeah.
He was trying to set him up for the right hand with that. It wasn't like that was a setup punch for the right hand, But the jab, Wilder is really good now at gauging. Early in the fight, it didn't look like he was good at gauging distance, but that's one area where he's improved upon. Because before, early in his career, he used to jump and leap in.
Yeah.
Now he kind of sets and he just fires. He's got a lot more poised in his attack. You see, people make fun of the windmill stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But each and every time he lands that right hand, that was a picture perfect 1-2 right down. If you're gonna show someone how to throw a 1-2, that's how you would show them how to throw it. So underneath, and besides all of the other stuff that people tend to look at and say, well, that's not how a fighter should look. That's not what a fighter should do. There are some solid skills underneath all of that.
Well, listen, he wouldn't be where he's at if there weren't solid skills there. Let's address Sean, the Magic Man. He says, was it an early stoppage? I don't think so.
He couldn't get up. He was out.
He was up. He was up at 9. If you watch the video, he's up at 9. He's on the floors at 9, and he got up.
He got up at 9.5, and he was like this.
Well, no, he stopped it when his hands were on the canvas at 9. They stopped it at 9. If you go back and watch Bayless stopped it at 9. I don't think. But he had 9 seconds left. It would have been.
But he got up.
I don't know.
He got up and was going like this.
Yeah, he was. No, I think.
My point is, when he was up on his feet, eventually, he was wobbling.
Now there was 7 seconds left. By the time we can argue that there would have been 3 seconds left by the time Wilder got his hands on him. Could he have made it out of the round? Probably, but I don't know. I'm good with it.
He wasn't complaining. He knew he was done. He knew he was out.
He did complain after the fight, but and he was. I think he was. If you watch him afterwards, he was. I'm all right with the stoppage. I don't think it was a bad stoppage.
Hey, we got the over.
That's right. That's what I said.
But we just got it by 21 seconds.
No, the over and under was 6.5.
Okay, so that means that 6 rounds are completed, and 30 seconds And it was like 51.
A minute 30, wasn't
A
it?
minute 30 into the net. Oh, actually,
No, we got it by more than 30 seconds. It's 6
That's
rounds
right.
plus a minute 30.
You're
He knocked
right.
him out with like 7 seconds.
You're
or something
right.
like that.
We got it comfortably. I apologize. You're right.
It was easy work, Beeb. Hey, that's why you guys, if you're laying money down, we're the guys you listen to.
Yeah,
We're the guys you listen to, baby.
We said the was going to go over this, but
You want to make some money?
But these odds makers, how smart are they? Like they were so close. Because everyone probably took. You know how many people probably took the under?
Yeah.
They must have made a killing on this fight.
Oh yeah.
With the prop bets.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Must have made a killing with the prop bets.
Not on us though, baby. We told you. Try to tell you.
We cashed in. Tony at 5 dimes. He's writing me a check as we speak.
That's it. That's what he's doing.
That's how we do it here.
That's why we're doing it. Doing it large, son. That's why you got to pay attention to us.
That's
you don't want
right.
to listen? Hey, nothing I can do about it.
Lois, put that in the money market for us when it plays.
Money market. Bad Brother G has a pretty good question here. He says, guys, for a moment, break down Wilder's skill set style minus his right hand punch. Without his right hand, I don't know. He's I'm assuming he means without the eraser. He has no power in his left hand. Well, I don't know. He's a big guy, so he's got power in it. He can probably put you away with it. It's not the same as his right hand, though.
Yeah.
Nah. He's not. He's not. He doesn't have a good skill set. But what and when we talk about this, and you brought up a good point. He has a good skill set for him, for what he wants to do.
He knows what he's doing.
Right, for what he wants to do, he's got a good skill set. Now, let me ask you this, because they were talking about this. I saw the article on ESPN, but I didn't read it. But I figure let's bring it up here. Does this burn him at some point in his career?
I'm going to say no, because what's the last thing to go in a fighter?
Power.
George Foreman. Case in point.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it does. I'll be honest with you. I think it does burn him at some point.
Well, let's be honest. When we both had him losing the Fury fight, so in our opinion, it did burn him.
It did burn him. Right.
Now,
and with the Fury fight, how dominant was that fight? I mean, let's be honest here. We had Fury winning the fight after being knocked down twice.
9-3.
I mean, listen, man. To me, that was not a close fight.
Or 9 rounds. What was it? 9 rounds to 3. I scored the fight like 115 and 111 for Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, and I had it pretty much the same way as you did, I believe.
Yeah.
I might have been having a little bit wider, but I think I may have given him 2 rounds. I don't know.
I gave him 3 rounds. I think I gave him the 2nd, the 7th, and the 9th, and the 12th.
I gave him
the
7th,
the 2nd, the 9th, and the 12th.
I think I gave him the 2 knockdown rounds.
I thought you gave him I think you said you gave him the 4th too.
It's possible. Let me see.
Yeah, I think you gave him 3 rounds.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. That was in my old phone, but I remember what I did in terms of the scoring.
I might have it. I might not have it though. I have Fury and Schwartz. There you go.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I got it.
But I don't think
Either way.
I don't think Wilder.
I got it.
Yeah. I think you gave
I had it 115, 111.
Yeah, same
I
as
gave
me.
Wilder the 12th. I gave him the 9th, and I did give him the 5th.
Oh, the 5th you gave him. Okay.
Yeah. So I gave him those 3 rounds.
Yeah. I mean,
And,
a draw is not impossible because you could have possibly given Wilder the first round. If I gave Wilder the first round and I gave him the 5th round like you, I would have had it a draw.
Yeah.
So a draw is not impossible. I think if having Wilder winning that fight is a stretch, but a draw is not impossible. Really, it really isn't. I know during the fight.
I don't know, man.
I know after the fight I was bitching and complaining and stuff, but I mean, I still think Fury won the fight.
I don't think. Listen, I don't think he got robbed.
Yeah,
I
think it was a bad
down twice.
In my opinion, it was a bad decision.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, if I give him the 5th and the 1st, it's a draw on my card.
Yeah. And so after the fight, he says Wilder says that that's the next fight he's going to have is against Tyson Fury in February. Listen, man, I think you and I both have the same idea on this. I don't know. I don't think that fight goes down in February. I don't know how it can. I think that his eye, I think that Tyson Fury's eye, there's no way it's healed by February.
Well,
but Fury's crazy though. Who knows? He might get in there.
nah, Fury's talking about doing all types of other stuff right now. So I don't even know if Fury's going to get back in the ring with him.
What's he talking about doing aside from?
Wants to do MMA now. He wants to fucking.
Right. Yeah, I think that's all nonsense.
You know, he wants to stay in the WWE for a little longer.
Tell you what, I don't blame him.
You know?
What did he get? 15 million for that round?
Something like that.
15 million?
Something like that.
Be silly, man. That's silly. I'd stay in the WWE too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a horrible move.
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
All right. Robert's on the line. Let's go to him real quick.
Hello,
Robert,
guys.
what's happening?
I thought you were doing your podcast.
I just called in.
I thought you were doing your podcast. What happened?
Steve already in.
Would you get fired? Got fired already?
Joe?
Got fired already, kid? What happened?
Joe, I'm gonna be doing my podcast in a few minutes, but I wanted to call in and hear what you guys said about the fight so I can talk about it since I didn't watch it yesterday.
Did you enjoy the pay-per-view?
No, I did not enjoy the pay-per-view because I didn't buy it.
Why? Was people bothering you when it was on at your house? What happened? What do you mean you didn't enjoy it?
No,
Mrs. Herrick said Mrs. Herrick said you bought it.
Calling me all day yesterday. Well, why don't you get the fight? No, I'm not going to get the fight.
Who called you, Steve Kim?
From what I read about it and from Eric's description, I made the right choice.
Why? It was an awesome card.
Yeah, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. It was a good card. It really was.
The Brandon Rios fight was awesome. Not the Brandon Figueroa fight was awesome. Excuse me, Brandon Rios. The Brandon Figueroa fight was incredible. I thought he lost the fight. It was a draw. The Wilder fight was awesome. I had Wilder losing every round.
Yep.
Until the time of the stoppage. You pulled out a story.
And Leo Santa Cruz went the distance with Miguel Flores. I read all about it.
You must have loved the card when you were watching it yesterday.
No, I did not watch it.
You did watch it.
No, Eric. That's why I was on the line. I was listening to see what you guys said about it, so I could talk about it tonight.
So you want to talk about something that you supposedly didn't watch?
Well,
you know that kind of doesn't make that kind of doesn't make sense, Robbie. How can you talk about something you didn't watch? That was the problem in the first place when you were on the show.
Joe, in case people ask, because believe it or not, we do take calls and questions over there.
So you're coming over here to regurgitate our talking points on your podcast.
Well, yeah, because you guys are worth it. I give you guys.
So you're admitting that's what you're doing, though, right?
Well, of course that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to lie about it.
All right. So, Lois, make sure you send Robbie an invoice for this, please.
Lois.
Oh, the blow up doll. Okay, sure.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you a blow up doll, all right.
Yeah.
Blow up pay-per-view that you didn't watch.
No, I did not watch it.
I don't know, Robbie.
So what were your thoughts when you heard about this? What were your thoughts when you heard about it?
From the descriptions, I'm like, oh my God, because when I read the judges' scorecards and from the descriptions that people wrote, I'm thinking, oh my God, if he could have stood on his feet for the entire 12 rounds, we'd be talking today about Luis Ortiz being the WBC heavyweight champion, And let's face it, guys, that would have shaken up the entire boxing world because, everybody thought Andy Ruiz was a hell of a shock. Could you imagine if the result would have turned out with Luis Ortiz winning a unanimous decision over Wilder today? What the conversation would be like in the boxing world?
Yeah, it's a big shock. It would have been like the Joshua Ruiz fight. Alex T, one of our listeners, Robert, wants to ask you a question. He says, "Why didn't Robbie buy it?" Ask him. Talk about the pay-per-view.
Because when Eric read the list of the fighters that were going to be on the undercard last Sunday, I had full intentions on buying it until I heard last Sunday's show. And when Eric went through the entire list of all the fights on the card, I decided it wasn't worth my money. The only fight worthwhile, in my opinion, was the one that was canceled. The Luis Neri, Emmanuel Rodriguez. Brandon Figueroa and Ceja, Ceja didn't even make weight. He's 4 pounds.
It was a good
overweight.
fight. That was a good fight, though.
Who cares if he made weight or not? The fight was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
It was like the fight of the night, Robbie. What are you talking about?
I'm glad for you guys that
that fight was awesome.
I've seen Miguel Flores, and I've seen Miguel Flores fight several times, and I knew he would stick it out against Santa Cruz, and that's what it sounds like he did.
You're 100% no. You're 100% wrong.
You're wrong again on. You're wrong again on that one.
No, in fact, I told you, Dad had Flores scouted. My dad was really high on Flores coming in here, and that was a good fight. That was very competitive.
Robbie,
I thought that was a real competitive fight.
Let's just face facts. You dropped the ball here. You missed a good card.
No, I did not.
Well,
no, I did not.
How do you know you didn't miss a good card? We're sitting there telling you that the fights were awesome on this card, and now you're saying that you didn't drop the ball.
So you're telling me you don't mind spending the money because of the way it turned out,
Robbie?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean,
it was a successful pay-per-view. You've spent money yourself on pay-per-views that were worse than this.
But the thing is, that's a good point.
I agree.
Robert, that's a good point, though, you brought up.
I agree, I have.
You said that, it's like, if you buy the pay-per-view, what are you expecting to see? You're expecting to see competitive, good fights, right? Well, that's what we saw.
Right,
and
exactly.
The thing is, that's what we saw. So we were happy with the pay-per-view. So in any pay-per-view, that's what you have to look at, so you look at it and say, hey, the card might not be that great, but a lot of times the fighters have a way of making the fights good. A lot of times the fighters have a way of making the night because they're on the big stage.
Well,
Robbie, you dropped the ball, buddy.
When I came on, Joe, when I came on Friday's show and I heard that the one guy was 4 pounds overweight, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God.
Robbie, what does that matter though, Robbie? If the fight's on, it's on. Salido was over when he fought Lomachenko. So what? Like fighters don't make weight all the time. That has no bearing on the entertainment value, though. That has no bearing on the entertainment value.
How come Luis Neri and Emmanuel Rodriguez couldn't come to a deal then?
Because Rodriguez decided he didn't want to fight him.
He wasn't going to fight.
That's his choice.
Right.
Brandon Figueroa didn't care. He wanted to fight him because he thought he could beat him. And it almost blew up in his face.
And you know what? He couldn't have lost the title anyway, but you're right. That would have really...
The title would have been vacated.
We talked about it. You and I talked about it, Joe, about him coming in on purpose overweight.
Of course he did.
And when you're 4 pounds overweight, you came in overweight on purpose, and that gave him an advantage. And it looked like he used it, and it looked like it did give him an advantage.
Look, I heard he was over Robbie's house eating Sunday dinner, man.
Right.
He was eating pot roast. He was eating pot roast over there. Couple days before the fight. Vegas is only a 3-hour drive from Robbie's house. Him and Robbie were getting chicken. They were out getting chicken and waffles the other night. You think he was trying to make? You think this guy was trying to make weight? Robbie dropped the ball, buddy.
Hey, Eric, I'll tell you what. Joe is on point tonight. He's on fire.
He is.
Eric, let me ask you a question. Was this pay-per-view better than the Pacquiao-Broner pay-per-view?
Yeah. Oh.
But by far, right?
By far, yeah.
Robbie, did you buy the Pacquiao-Broner pay-per-view?
Yes, I did.
Why'd you buy that one,
And
Robbie?
I wasn't disappointed with. I wasn't disappointed with that either. I wasn't disappointed with Earl Spence and Mikey Garcia.
Okay, Robbie, but this pay-per-view,
disappointed.
but this pay-per-view was better and more entertaining than both of those pay-per-views. Right, Eric?
Yeah.
I thought it was. Yeah, I really did.
The one
It was competitive.
Robbie, you dropped the
The
ball.
the one pay-per-view. Hey, the one pay-per-view that I bought this year that I wish I didn't buy was the Terrence Crawford Emir Khan pay-per-view. That was not worth it.
Robbie, if you bought this pay-per-view and watched it, you would be saying today that this pay-per-view was better than the Broner Pacquiao pay-per-view and the Spence Garcia pay-per-view. That's what you'd be saying right now.
Okay.
So can we admit you dropped the ball in this one? It's okay, you made a mistake. We'll think, it's no big deal.
Well, don't worry. If Fury and Wilder are in there in February, I'll be buying it.
This will still probably be a better card than that.
But I agree with both of you. However, I don't think that fight comes off.
No, I don't think it comes off either. I think that it's going to take some time for that cut to heal. I really do. I mean, that was a deep, deep cut. What do we predict? About 6 months, Beeb? Because he's got to have like plastic surgery on that cut.
I don't
think
think
that's a bad cut.
I just don't think Fury wants to fight Wilder right
had,
now. I don't think he wants to fight
Wilder
Wilder right
now.
now.
And he had 50 stitches put in?
I don't know. It was a lot. I don't know how many it was, but it was a lot.
Yeah, he had So.
And Wilder's ready. Wilder's ready to go back in there with him right now after just fighting yesterday.
Yeah.
In November. So it's just he's got December. He still interrupts. December and January, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's got December and January, right? And then February. He's gonna celebrate. He's gonna celebrate the holidays, right? And then he's supposed to when's he gonna start training camp?
Got to be in January. That's what Wilder said. January.
So if he starts training camp in January, that's 4 weeks. When was the fight supposed to be? The 22nd. It's a 7-week training camp, 6-week training camp. You gonna have a 6-7 week training camp for Tyson Fury? Makes no sense.
No.
The one thing that disappoints me about this whole process, guys, is we're never going to see a unified fight for a unified champion in this division.
Sure we will.
Because let's face it, whoever wins between Ruiz and Joshua, all those titles are going to get fractured because of mandatory challenges.
We don't know that. That's a talking point. We don't know that. We don't know that at all.
Well, as a boxing fan, that I really want to see a unified champion, and I hope we get to see that.
We will. After Ruiz knocks out Joshua, we'll see Wilder and Ruiz soon enough.
I think honestly, if that happens, I think that fight's next.
That's what I want to see, but will the sanctioning bodies allow it?
Why not? When Joshua was allowed to avoid mandatories.
The only one I remember
I was talking to Eric
the only one I remember who fought mandatories.
Ahead,
the only one I remember who fought mandatories on a regular basis was
Klitschko.
That's it. And I believe, honestly, I believe he hid behind a lot of those mandatories, but there was nobody out there. There really wasn't. There was nobody out there for him to fight. So.
Robbie, what if the unified champions on DAZN? What are you going to do?
Well, hey, I'll read about it. What can I say? When I make a decision, I stick to it.
So you're gonna be reading about things like this is almost like the 1930s when you listen to fights on the radio. You can't watch them. But you know what you can do, Robbie? You can always go to the YouTube and go to the Ringside Reporter podcast channel. I do live casts for these fights, so you can watch me.
Great job.
Thank you. You can watch me do the live cast for these fights. I can send you the link.
I know. I've heard a lot of compliments on the job that you do, Beeb.
I appreciate that.
So,
who are you talking to about?
Well, I'm going to get out of here, guys.
All right, Robert.
All right, Robbie.
Good luck on your podcast tonight, man.
Good luck, man.
Appreciate you calling in.
Checks and
See you.
the invoice will be in the mail.
What did you say? The endorsement's going to be in the mail?
No, the invoice.
The invoice.
He's coming over here looking for talking points that he can go bring over to his podcast.
Oh, stop.
He admitted it. He admitted it.
Oh, stop, Beeb.
That would be like Stephen A. Smith watching Undisputed with Skip and Shannon to steal their talking points and put it on their show. Right?
I'm sure he'll give us credit. I'm sure he'll give us credit on his show.
No, he'll probably say he got it from Steve Kim, like he always does.
Steve Kim. Steve Kim's boy. He's working at ESPN now. He's big time.
That's right.
That's it, man.
That's right, baby.
That's it. Steve Kim, baby. Friend of the show. So, all right. So yeah, so the next, I mean, do you don't think that you don't think that's, I think the next fight, if Ruiz wins, that's the next fight. If Ruiz beats Joshua, that's the next fight. Him and Wilder are going to be the next fight.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I do think those, I think those, they're going to fracture those titles after that fight.
I'm not so sure about that.
Really?
Yeah. Joshua had him for a while, but the three, and he was able to hold on to him.
They were about to fracture him before this fight. They were going to fracture him before this second fight because they talked. Eddie Hearn, apparently, I guess they had talked to him or whatever, and they agreed to, like, because apparently there's a bunch of mandatories for it.
Okay, but Eddie Hearn's smart. He goes to the sanctioning bodies and files the proper paperwork, and that's why Joshua has not been stripped yet.
Yeah.
He got permission. He got permission to try to make the Wilder fight. Got permission to make the Ruiz fight. He got permission to make the Ruiz rematch. So I think if you work with the sanctioning bodies and you're up front with them and you file the proper paperwork, then you don't get stripped. Tyson Fury didn't file the paperwork.
Yeah. Centurion Son asked me, he says, you think AJ has a chance against Wilder?
0.
No, I think that he does. Absolutely. I think different styles, you look at different styles make fights, man. And just because he was knocked out against Ruiz doesn't mean anything, man. But, yeah, absolutely. I give him a chance. But you're talking about two big guys in there who could throw bombs.
But what's the one punch that Joshua gets hit with so much?
Yeah.
The right hand.
That right hand. Although a left hook is what started it in the Ruiz fight.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Povetkin hit him with a monster. Klitschko hit him with a monster of a right hand. And even Parker was landing the right hand against him. And then Parker landed a big right hand against him. And then the referee stopped the action. Remember that one? How peculiar was that?
Yeah, I would agree. D-Style, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And Alexander Wilson, thank you so much. He asked me, he says, is it me or did this KO make me more excited for Ruiz, AJ? Because I can't wait to see what's next in the heavyweight division. That KO last night made it, it's just like, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Because again, I mean, when you watch Wilder, this is a flawed guy. This is a flawed champion. He could get clipped. I'm telling you right now, he can get clipped. All right? And just like he can clip you. I mean, again, it's like two guys pointing guns at each other, man. He can get you or you can get him. And so far, he's had the quicker draw in every fight. But, yeah, I'm real excited for the AJ Ruiz fight. I think that's going to be and I tell you what, I would love to see Ruiz win that fight because I do. I want to see AJ and I want to see a unified champion. Now, whether that happens or not, I don't know, man, but I want to see a unified. Listen, if he beats him, he's the guy. You know what I mean? He's the guy. It doesn't matter where the belts go. He's the guy. He's the lineal champion. I believe, he's the lineal champion. Just in my eyes, he's the lineal champion. Because prior to all this, when AJ, prior to that Ruiz fight, everybody would recognize AJ as the world champion. I don't think there's any question about that. He was the world champion. When you got 3 of the 4 belts, you're the world champion. No question.
Strong argument for that, yeah.
AJ loses to Ruiz. Now Ruiz is the world champion. He's the guy who beat the guy. You know, and if he beats him again, no matter what the IBF wants to do as far as them stripping him or whatever the case, great. He gets on, and there we go. You know, and then we have a world champion. We have, one name associated with it. So that, yeah, I mean, it definitely. I'm excited for that fight. I don't know what's going to happen. That's one of those fights where I just don't know what's going to happen. Really don't. No clue, man. Have no clue at all. Could go either way, man. I'm seeing AJ. He looks good. I mean, Ruiz lost a bunch of weight. You got to wonder how that's going to impact him. You got to wonder how that's going to play on his stamina, how it's going to play on, his power, everything like that. It's going to be fun, man. That's the thing, man. This is kind of the what we want now. We got some up and coming prospects. We got some guys at the top that are established, and you got one of the guys at the top who's just got a bomb in his right hand. And he only has to clip you once. That's it.
Here's the crazy thing about that knockout. And I remember Holyfield was talking about this before when he was talking about Wilder. He punched him on the forehead. Not on the
sick.
Not on the temple.
No.
Not on the chin. Not on the pressure point in the mouth.
Boom.
He hit him right at the top of the forehead, like right here. That's like the hardest part of the body, like besides the elbow. Yeah. That's definitely the hardest part of your head. Like fighters break their hands hitting you on the forehead, right? And he freaking knocked this guy. And you know what's funny? Sean Porter and Ray Mancini were sitting there talking about if Luis Ortiz can come back, blah blah blah, and they were questioning his chin. Anyone gets hit with that right hand, they're going to sleep.
They were questioning his chin?
Yeah, they say, well, I don't know. He's getting older. Okay. He's getting older now. He's probably not as durable as he once used to be.
Now.
He's chinny now, probably.
Now, yeah. Come on, son.
Did you see his face?
It was just contorted. You remember Andrew Galata? You remember Andrew Galata when he got hit by Lennox Lewis and his face contorted? Yeah. That's what it was. That's exactly what happened. He lost control of his muscles.
Or Curtis Stevens when he got knocked down by Golovkin.
Yes.
He looked like someone shocked him.
Yeah.
Like stuck a cow prong on him. Mm-hmm. It was nuts.
You can't control it, man. Yeah, it was just you just stiffened up.
And when I saw his face on the canvas contorted like that, I knew he was done.
We looked at it. I was like, he ain't getting up, man. I saw his face. He ain't getting up. And if he gets up, it's going to be worse. It is. It's nuts, man, how much power that guy has.
Sickest thing ever.
To end it at any point. He does. He reminds you of like a Mike Tyson or like an Ernie Shavers type of puncher, man. Tyson now, Tyson had power in both hands. Wilder's only got it in his right hand. And it's just, but it's like, and you say like he's one-dimensional. That may be, man. But the bottom line is, man, it's a heck of a dimension.
It's a strong dimension.
And he does it better than anybody.
Yeah.
Does it better than anybody. And they've done a good job of catering to that dimension. This is what he's got. It's either all or nothing. You're not winning a decision. You know what I mean? It's either all or nothing. And that's what makes him exciting. I mean, it really is. That's really what makes him exciting. All right, let's talk about our train wreck of the week here before we go back to the phones. So our train wreck of the week here is your boy, Beeb, Luis Neri. Luis Neri is our train wreck of the week, man. This is insane. He does this every single time. Luis Neri's had his problems in the past, and they continued on Friday. Luis Neri came in 1 pound over at 119 pounds of the 118 limit. According to everything I read, he didn't even try to make weight. Beeb, he was drained already. He couldn't even make weight. He refused. They tried to reach an agreement with Manny Rodriguez, and he said, nope, not doing it. So no agreement could be made, and the best fight on the card, in my opinion, was scrapped.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being Luis Neri's promoter? What a nightmare that must be.
I'm surprised they couldn't come to a deal.
Let me tell you what. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I don't blame him at all because he's done this. A couple things here. He knew what weight he had to show up in, and he did not come in on that weight. Yeah. And he's done this before. And if I'm fighting him, And I know he's a dangerous puncher. He's like an Inoue type of puncher. He's an Inoue type of puncher. So what I do, hey, drain him. Make him make that weight. But he didn't even attempt to. And you know what? He's done this before, and it was only a matter of time before it came back and bit him. Because they come back and they say, well, you know, we can fight, but you know, we'll give you another 20 grand or something like that or whatever.
Yeah. No.
And he said, no, it ain't happening, because he does this all the time.
It's almost like he wants to pay for the right to come in overweight.
Right.
It's part of the strategy.
And that's fine. I mean, if you build it into the contract and say for every pound you come in over, just like what they did with, wasn't it Golovkin or something like that? Or who? It was Chavez Jr. It was Chavez Jr. and Canelo.
Yeah.
$1 million a pound, man. They said you come in, any pound over you come in, it's $1 million.
That's nuts.
It's nuts. But you know what? It's necessary, because he does moronic stuff like that. He is, you know, he's another Luis Neri, where you can't trust him. If you're promoting him, you don't know. You don't know if he's going to show up. You don't know what this guy's going to do. You know, you don't know if he's going to pop for some PEDs or whatever. You don't know if he's going to come in 70 pounds overweight. You don't know. And that's the thing. And you know what? I hate that the fight was canceled. I think that they should have put the fight on. I thought that, you know, maybe Manny Rodriguez probably should have. It's a pound. Probably not going to make that big of a difference in the grand scheme of things. But you know what? At the end of the day, Manny had to make weight. And the other guy didn't make weight. So he didn't honor it. You know? Here's I guess my thing with it. Does he get paid? Does Manny Rodriguez get paid?
I'm not sure.
I thought, and I don't know this for sure, but I thought, according to the contracts, that you have to show up for the fight. And once you show the weigh-in, once you weigh in for the fight, that's considered a show. You actually get your show money at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's only in MMA. I don't know if that's in boxing, but I don't know, you know. But yeah, it was terrible, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Not best fight on the card. Luis Neri did not do himself any favors. And if I was his manager or whatever, I'd force him to move up in weight, quit playing around, because he can't make this weight. It's obvious he can't make this weight. You're having too many issues at this weight. Go up.
Too many issues.
Too many. Can't do it. I couldn't imagine promoting this kid. Could not imagine it.
I wouldn't want to.
No. Him, Jarrell Miller, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., I couldn't imagine promoting any of them. I mean, what a nightmare. Your heart would be in you. You don't know what's going to happen. You know? So, who knows? All right, 443. I think this is Wood. 443, you're live.
Yo, what's up, yo?
What's happening, man?
Man, what's going on, man? Oh, man, you know, I'm loyal to the show, man. Y'all got a good thing going on. Y'all got a good thing going on here, man. And I'm down for the cause, man.
Thank you.
Both of y'all, both of y'all. I've been knowing Beeb for 5 years, going on 5 years. And me and Beeb been going back and forth, but he know I'm a solid dude, and he's a solid dude, 100, and you a solid dude, 100.
Thank you.
Enough of all that. We're gonna get into this weekend with this Deontay Wilder. This Deontay Wilder shit, man. Deontay Wilder, this guy can't get no praise. He can't get no love from it. He can't get no love out here in these streets, man. These streets is out here socking it to this kid. He can't box. Ortiz is a solid boxer. Yeah. Cuban school, all that good shit. Everybody know his background. He sit back. Play. He know he can't outbox this guy. So he sit back and wait for his he sit back and wait for his shot. He can't get a good shot on this kid chin. He hit this kid in the forehead and knocked the sweat off this motherfucker. Knocked the sweat off this nigga's head and knock him out. And he still can't get no motherfucking love, man. What the fuck is going on, Eric? And what the fuck is going on, B? What the fuck is up with that? He knocked this nigga out. If they let him up again, he fuck around and kill him. I'm glad the referee stopped it. I'm glad they stopped it. You can't. Only way you could say let somebody else give Ortiz a shot. Ortiz is a dangerous motherfucker. You haven't seen him in there with no other top boxers because they all found excuses not to fight him. Deontay Wilder fought him twice. And the same result, he got the fuck out. He should get a whole lot of respect and he should get a lot of big ups for that shit. Am I right or wrong?
100% right, man.
100% right. I mean, that's
Hello?
the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're 100% right, bro. I'm on board with that.
for sure.
Nobody wants to fight this. Nobody wants to fight this guy. And for good fucking reason. He's dangerous. He's patient. He got power. He's one of the best body punchers in boxing. He goes to the body upstairs. He got power both hands. He get good spaces. His lead hand, the paint, the posing, the way he turned, the way he keeps turning, the way he's very patient and he's waiting to knock you the fuck out with both hands. This guy is very powerful. He's a monster. He got the right name, King Kong. Because I can see this nigga climb up on top of a fucking building and pounding his chest. He's a monster. What Deontay Wilder did was spectacular. Didn't even catch him on the chin, caught him on the forehead, and knocked this nigga out on the forehead. This is a strong, big guy. If Tyson Fury struggled with bums. He struggled with people who does not that known, not that powerful, don't have the boxing foundation in the boxing as Ortiz had and struggle, get cut up, beat up. If you think he's gonna get in there with Wilder and do better, you delusional and you praying and you hoping. What he gonna do is Wilder don't have to worry about all the power from him. He gonna go in there, paw with his jab, catch him with his jab, be very patient, pop him, and shoot and catch him with that right hand. I see Fury going down very early. And I see him going down from vicious shots from the head in the body. Ortiz, he already figured Ortiz out the same way he figured Tyson Fury out. He gonna figure him out. He already figured out, and I see Ortiz going the fuck down and out. Tell me what y'all think.
I don't know, man. I think that if there's one guy that I think has a real good chance. And I think we've already seen it. I think that Tyson Fury beat him the first time. And I know Beeb agrees with me on this one. Fury beat him the first time. And, it's hard. It's difficult, to not get hit with that right hand.
You seen Fury's last fight.
Yeah.
I think Tyson Fury fight. I hear what you're saying, but his last fight is a result of his fight with Deontay Wilder. The way that guy cut him up, beat him the fuck up, it's because of the after effects of Deontay Wilder. And I believe once he get in the ring with Deontay Wilder, he's gonna finish him off. And once he knocks Fury out, he's still not gonna get the credit. He's still not gonna get the credit for what he is, man. He's a very special fighter. And I believe Fury getting a whole lot of credit for being on dope, for being on dope, being mentally confused, being a weirdo, being a drug addict. And his story got people, and him surviving. He get a lot of credit for surviving, but he was getting his ass whipped in there. He almost got knocked out, and Jack Reese. He did everything but CPR on his motherfucker, but getting him up. He did CPR on his ass. Got his ass up. The next time it's not going to be all that. He's going to get fucked up, man. Just call the shit down the middle. That's all the fuck I want. Is motherfuckers to call shit down the motherfucking middle. He gonna get fucked up. This guy Uchi Wally beat him the fuck up. From the punishment and shit that he took. He's not still right. He's not right. That's why he's stalling. That's why his team is stalling. He's not right. In February, y'all gonna be like, yo, Wood, no boxing. Yo, this nigga no boxing. He gonna hit this nigga a lot, and he gonna fuck him up. He don't have to worry about power. He don't have to worry about power with Fury. That's all he has to do is do spacing and get behind his jab. Get spacing behind your jab. Go to the body, spacing behind your jab. Shoot your right. Get him the fuck out of there. And that's what it's going to be, man. I don't want to hold it all up, but, man, Fury get a whole lot of credit for a whole lot of posturing, a whole lot of movement. He's not no Mayweather. He's not James Toney. He's not a master of boxing. He do a whole lot of posturing. He do a whole lot of movement, a whole lot of faking and probing and jamming, but he don't know where the fuck to be at. And I believe while the team already figured it out, and they're gonna be patient. Go to his body, go up top, fake, go to his body, go up top, make him react, and once he react, shoot the shit down the middle, get him the fuck out of here. I see the six rounds. Y'all don't have to see it no way, but February, if he keep the fight, I see it going down to 6 rounds, man.
Wow.
I don't want to hold y'all up, man, but y'all,
right.
I appreciate y'all. We don't gotta agree, but we still can be respectful. Y'all my niggas. I'm out here, y'all. Peace, man. Keep doing y'all things, man. Hey, Beeb, keep your pressure on these niggas next, man. Keep pressure.
All right, you
Peace.
got that. You got that, man.
All right. Thanks so much for calling, Wood, man. We appreciate it, man. It's always good to hear from you. Hey, listen, man, he says that he'll get him in 6 rounds. Listen, it's 100% possible. He can get him in 30 seconds. He can get him anytime, but I think he could also be had too. So it goes either way, man. It goes either way. Centurion Son wants to know what we thought of Wilder's outfit yesterday.
I loved it.
It looked like something out of the Game of Thrones. Didn't he look like he reminded me of like the Ice King? You remember that the Ice King or whatever his name was?
That was a sick outfit, man.
It was pretty funny, man. I thought the only thing missing is he should have came out to Game of Thrones music. I really did. I thought that would have been perfect because that's what he looked like. He looked like somebody out of the Game of Thrones.
I thought he was getting ready to pull out a sword, man.
That would have been sweet. Yeah, it would have been awesome.
No, I liked it.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was real good.
That was a cool outfit.
All right. 760. I think this is Nacho. Is this Nacho? 760, you're live.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? It's Brian.
Brian, how's it
Brian,
going?
where you been, Brian?
Well, it's the heavyweights. He likes
What's
the heavyweights.
going on, Brian? Miss you, Brian. Where's Coach C at?
It's the heavyweight action.
All
That's
right.
What's good, man?
It's good, man.
Hey, man, Wilder does it again. He does it again. I'm like, man, this dude he's the most entertaining fighter, man. Can we agree on that?
Eric,
Absolutely.
Eric just said it.
Yeah, he's
Can
100%.
we agree on that? Come on, Eric.
Yeah,
Come on, Eric.
100%.
Show
I
Wilder
said,
some love, man.
I did, man. I said he's the most
man.
exciting fighter in the game today, man. I said if he's on a pay-per-view, I don't care who's fighting, I'm watching him.
He's exciting, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I know, in the beginning of the fight, everybody was probably looking like he ain't doing shit. And, everybody fighting what he do. But that dude is smart, man. He got a high ring IQ, and I'm sitting there watching. And I done seen this time and time again. Wilder kicks back. He kicks back, and he was putting them in positions. He was angling. He was spinning them out. And at first he was going backwards. And then I would say like the 5th or 6th round, he was going forwards, but then kicking back a little bit, then going forwards. I said, oh, he's gonna turn it up an extra gear, watch. And then that knockout was quick, man. I was like, what the fuck happened? You know, man. But we gotta give this man some respect, man. Put some respect on this man name for real, man. Tyson Beeb, your boy, Tyson Fury. That's your boy, right?
That's right. That's my man.
That's your boy, man. We need to do this pie bet right now, homie. So you guys,
yeah, we got it. We got it.
You guys don't think the fight's gonna happen in February?
I don't. I don't. I think that cut is too deep. I think that cut is gonna delay things. He's gonna be out for a minute with that cut. That takes a long time to heal. Even with plastic surgery, it takes a long time to heal and thicken back up to where it should be.
I don't think he's gonna get clearance.
Nah.
I just don't think he's gonna get clearance.
Yeah. Well, whenever it do happen, I'm taking that pie bet. That's
okay.
For sure. You know what I'm saying?
It's on.
It's on. The job for sure.
It's on, bro.
And then Eric, your boy, Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua, AJ, baby. You see him on Sway? He was on Sway rapping the 5 Fingers of Death.
Yeah, 6 years ago.
AJ, baby. Doesn't matter. It still stays fresh.
Yeah, he makes me laugh with all that. Right.
He's spitting bars.
But, look, man, with AJ, you know, hey, remember in the beginning before AJ lost, right? We was like, man, AJ does everything perfect. They was like, he looks perfect. He throws a perfect jab. He throws a perfect right hand. He throws a perfect hook, you know. But he got his ass beat, though.
He could take a knockout. Saying? That was a perfect knockout.
He got his ass beat.
He did.
When he knocked him down?
No question about it, man. He got beat, for sure.
I mean, the thing is, man, you got dudes that's like, you know, that's perfect boxers, but they don't have no power. I brought this up before, okay? So when you got a boxer, let's say like Mayweather, that got no power, you know what I'm saying, that's not going in, you know, to knock somebody out, that's the type of fighter that's going to outskill you because he don't have no power. He don't got no confidence. You know what I'm saying? It's like two different mentals when you got power and when you don't have power and when you have to use your skill and outbox somebody. You know, Wilder he's just the type of individual that could close the show, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a skill right there. Like him when he's going through them rounds, that's a skill. You know, and then I understand you guys say Fury won. Okay, Fury won. But be honest right now. Who got beat up? They fought. Somebody got beat up. Somebody didn't get beat up. Who got beat up?
I would say Wilder got beat up for 9 rounds.
Be honest.
Wilder got beat up for 9 rounds. Fury got beat up for 3 rounds.
Come on, Eric. Beeb, answer this honestly.
Beeb, am I wrong?
Who got beat up in that fight?
I'm going to say one thing. There could be some residual effect from that 12th round knockdown that's making Fury think about this. Now, the question should be asked, who was more hurt in the fight? And it's got to be Fury. Fury was seriously hurt in that 12th round, and Fury was hurt in that round. Now, Wilder got buzzed. Wilder got buzzed a few times, but he wasn't like
by
hurt.
Fury.
He wasn't hurt
by Fury.
Yeah,
who everybody says got pillows in his fist.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm sure that Fury and his team are thinking about that 12th round.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
going to stay in the back of that's going to stay in the back of Fury's mind and the back of his team's mind. To be honest, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, because it's like Fury can outbox Wilder. Anybody can outbox Wilder, right? And do everything right. Because that's a lot of pressure, mental pressure to have to do everything right for 12 rounds. So he already putting the pressure on you as soon as the bell rings. You know, pressure busts pipes. You know what I'm saying? It bust Price. You know, Fury, he knows if he gets in there with Wilder again, he's gonna get knocked down. I mean, no matter what, this dude is gonna knock you on your ass. You know what I'm saying? He knocks everybody down. You know, that's why I'm positive, man. Wilder gonna finish the job. You know, because if he's gonna knock Fury down, if they fight again, he knocked Fury down. It's just a matter of can Fury get up again? Because he's knocking everybody. That's his skill. Let's give this man this props on his skill, because they saying he got no skill. No skill. He do got a skill. He got chin. He got heart, and his skill is knocking you the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Fury's skill is he's a boxer. It's the opposite of knocking you out. You know what I'm saying? But that'll be a lot of pressure on Fury, you know, for 12 rounds whenever, you know, it do happen. But if you guys this though, if Fury and fight next, who you guys think will be next?
I think the next guy, if Ruiz wins, if Ruiz beats Joshua again, which is very possible, if Ruiz beats him again, I think Ruiz is next for Wilder. I don't think there's any question about it. And I don't care if Fury is on tap for February or not. If Ruiz wins, that fight doesn't happen. He goes straight to Ruiz.
I agree.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Because that puts the belts on him right now.
Man,
that crowns him as a champion right now. But if AJ wins, I don't know who's next for
Wow,
Wilder.
you guys. Oh man, if AJ win, oh shit.
Then AJ's going to take the belts, go back, fight Povetkin again or whatever, you know. Yeah, he's going to go fight somebody, you know.
I don't think AJ's going to
Oh
win.
man.
If AJ wins, he's going to go fight Usyk next. That'll be the next fight they're going to try to line up, I bet. That would be that's what I would think.
You guys think Wilder is like, because you know I've seen a lot of heavyweights, man. I mean I go back to watching Larry Holmes. You know what I'm saying? David Stewart, Lance Lewis, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, all these dudes. But man, this Wilder is something else, man. He's you know he's just something else, man. You know he's just in a category of his own because of his size, his power. You know, you guys think he can make history or what? If he continues Ruiz, he beats Tyson Fury. I mean,
I was thinking about this.
Is he up there? You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking about this, man. If you know, he's got a legit shot at Larry Holmes' record, you know, or Marciano's record. He really does. You know, the only thing is that he's 34. Time's not on his side on this one, man. But you know, he doesn't have. I mean, as far as competition goes, he, you know, there's not a whole lot of people I see beating him. I mean, they're always entertaining fights, but I always see him catching them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't know. But he's got a legit shot. If anybody's got a shot, he's got a very legit shot at that. So yeah.
Yeah, he's on his way, man. You know, I'm like, man, this man, he definitely needs some respect, man. You know what I'm saying? He needs some respect. You know, it's been even the some of the Hall of Famers, you know, they talking about his technique and nobody really getting behind him. You know, it's more people coming around now, but man, what that dude does is a skill. You know what I'm saying? It's a skill. You know, I'll be thinking like, okay, well, he's gonna retire in like 6 years. I'm like, shit. I'm glad. You know, boxing needs people like Wilder, people like Fury, AJ. We need these characters right now. You know what I'm saying? We need them, man, because it's definitely making boxing exciting. Yeah. And when it comes to all these guys, I know everybody pick and choose who they want. Oh, I'm rocking with AJ. I'm rocking with Wilder. You know, I like all these guys. All these guys. Boxing fan right now. You know what I'm saying?
I think we just lost him here. Brian, if you can hear me, you were cutting in and out, and I think we just lost you there, man. So, okay. Here, let me see if I can get him. Okay, Brian, are you there? No, he's out. He's out. Sorry about that, Brian.
Yeah, he's probably in a bad area.
Yeah, I like put the mute on him or whatever just to try to see if we can get him like cleared. You know, sometimes like if you're in a car or something like that, it kind of like
No, I hear you. Yeah.
so, but yeah. Burgess Meredith says, is Wilder the biggest puncher in the last 10 to 15 years?
Could be. Could be.
I think he is. I mean, who's the bigger puncher? I mean, in the last 10 or 15 years, I mean, you're talking like 2000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you're talking about 05. I mean, I don't know of anybody that was a murderous puncher in the heavyweight division. I mean, like this.
Oh, at heavyweight, yeah, he's the biggest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we can talk. I mean, if you want to go back like the 80s, you know, 85 and stuff like that, you talk about Mike Tyson. You want to go to the 70s and 80s, you talk about Ernie Shavers.
Did Mike Tyson have one punch knockout power though? Like he used to put shots.
Yeah. You remember the Carl the Truth Williams fight? We knocked him out like clean across the ring. Trevor Burbank,
but Wilder
when he got up and fell. I mean,
yeah, but like he put shots together though, like Tyson.
Well, in two, you got to look at the competition too. I thought he was fighting better competition. I thought Tyson was fighting better competition than Wilder was fighting. So
I think Wilder is a harder one punch knockout artist than even Tyson. To be honest with you,
maybe, but Tyson has power in both hands though.
Yeah,
he can put you away. Yeah,
no, you're right.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. You know, I read something about this article, this argument yesterday, and they said, is he the hardest puncher? Well, how do we know? You know, we don't know. You know what I would like to see, though? I would like to see him go on that. Remember that sports science show? Do you remember that? Where they have it's called Sports Science? And they would put those little crash testers on the bag.
Yes.
And then you'd hit it, and it would ignite. It would like... turn a different color, basically.
Correct.
If it was over a certain poundage or something like that.
I saw that, yeah.
I would like to see him do that because that little punching bag or whatever they do, that's not, I don't think that's legit. They got those at the fair, you know what I mean? I would like to see him do one of those little test strips or whatever and see, because I mean, he's got some menacing power. There's no question about it.
No,
but I would like to see it registered properly. That's what they ought to do. I don't know why nobody does that, man. They ought to register it properly.
That would be awesome, bro.
Right? I mean, that would be very cool. So we know, like, everybody takes a test on that little speed bag thing or whatever they do. And, you know, I mean, I don't know. That's not the I don't think that's an accurate measurement.
I mean, Wilder has the highest knockout percentage in heavyweight history.
Right. You know, I mean, listen, man. What did remember Freddie Pacheco? And he said, you know, when he was talking about Chavez, he said, you know, or maybe he was talking about Yori Boy Campus. I think it was Yori Boy Campus he was talking about. He said the guy's got like 40 knockouts. He said, I don't care who he's knocking out, he's got some power. You know, I don't care if they're all like ranchers or something like that. He's got some power, you know. And he's right, man. If you can not listen. You think about like how many people like start boxing and they say, I'm going to knock him out, or they get in there for the first time, I'm going to knock this guy out. It's not easy. No. It's not easy at all to knock somebody out.
I think Pacheco said, I don't care if he's fighting mailman. He was funny. Pacheco.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing though. Like I mean, that's the thing, man. He just, you know, you get that much listen, he's got power. I think that's what you have to say is he's got power. That's it, you know. You know, he's one punch knockout power. That's all there is to it, man.
He's legit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He absolutely is. All right, let's go to area code 805, Santa Barbara. 805, you're live.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Nacho, what's happening?
Big Notch.
Nothing much. What's up, Beeb?
What's going on, brother?
None. You know, just watching these fights. As far as the fight last night with Wilder, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, the guy literally gives rounds away like it's no big deal, and the other guy is basically doing whatever he wants. And all of a sudden, as soon as he gets the opportunity, he just goes out there and he just drops the guy like a sack of potatoes, and the fight's over. It's unbelievable. I don't know too many guys that could get away with that, where they just literally give rounds away, and with one shot they win the fight. It's crazy.
Crazy.
But you know, for him to for him to be able to do that, I mean, that's just unbelievable for him to be able to pull that off time and time again. It'll be interesting to see if the Fury fight does happen, because I'm with you guys. Like, I'm not sure that cut is healed, and I don't know if it will be healed by the time February rolls around. I mean,
No.
you know, it'll be interesting to see if they keep that date or not in February, to see if they're going to go through with it. But I mean, who knows? You know, it's totally possible that Fury comes out and says that he's ready to go, and you know, there's no issues. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. With Ortiz, I mean, I don't know. Like, even though he might be 45 or 50, however old he is, he'll still give a lot of heavyweight issues.
Yeah.
So I don't think he should, you know, keep his head down after having lost his fight. I think it would be easy for him to get, you know, another fight or two and then get back in contention again, you know, with, you know, some of the bigger names again. So I don't think he's done just because he lost last night. And with the other fights on the card, man, that Figueroa Ceja fight was unbelievable. That was a war.
It was a good fight.
Those two dudes just went at it. Yeah, those two dudes just went at it, like, you know, all night. The biggest thing though with that one though is that, you know, Ceja's lucky that Figueroa took that fight, because he came in 4.5 pounds overweight. And I'm very shocked that he took that fight. I thought he would have legitimately said, no, this guy's not even in the same weight class as I am. Why should I fight this dude? But props to him for, you know, just saying, screw it, I'll take this guy on, you know, if he's that much overweight. And, I mean, they put on a hell of a show.
I think it's interesting. Let me jump in here real quick. I think it's interesting that he took that fight. Figueroa took the fight with the guy who's 4.5 pounds over. But Manny Rodriguez did not take the fight, and the guy was only 1 pound over. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't. It's not that I disagree with Manny, but it was interesting. It's an interesting thing. So.
Yeah, I totally agree. But honestly, I think with Neri, I think someone needed to do that in order to teach this guy a lesson.
I agree.
This is the 4th time.
Yeah.
This is the 4th time he's done that where he hasn't made weight. So at some point, somebody's got to teach this guy a lesson and basically show him your job is to make weight and be professional. If you're not even going to try, why should we bend the rules just to give you a fight, you know?
He's right.
So at this point, Neri has nobody to blame but himself. Like, this is just a really bad look on his part, because he had all the momentum going into this fight. And if he beats Rodriguez, then he legitimately gets a title shot at Ubali or Teddy or one of the other belt holders. And, you know, who knows? He could have legitimately been in the mix for some really big fights. And he shot himself in the foot by not even trying to, you know, lose that pound. There was a reporter on Twitter who was saying that apparently the PBC negotiated with Rodriguez's team, and they tried to give him up to $100,000 to take the fight.
Wow.
And Rodriguez said no. He's like, yeah. So it obviously wasn't about money to him. He just felt like, I'm not going to bend over backwards because this guy didn't bother to make weight.
It's disrespectful. It is. It's disrespectful because, you know what? He didn't even try to make weight.
Oh, he didn't try.
That's what was disrespectful about it.
Yeah.
I mean, if he would have went back there and tried to make weight, I think maybe he would have. But the fact that he just said, nope, I'm not doing it, that's just disrespectful. The fact that you showed up overweight anyway is disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you didn't even want to make weight, you didn't make an effort, you just said, screw it, I'm not doing it, we're fighting anyway. And you know what? It's about time. I hate that it was in this fight because I really wanted to see this fight. But you know what? It's about time somebody did this to him because he's got to know. You know, now they canceled the fight.
Yeah.
So all the promotion that they put into this fight, all the promotion that his manager, his team, everybody did for him to get him to this point, blown. Completely blown. Because he couldn't get it together.
Yeah.
And that's too bad, man. It really is because he's a good talent, but he needs to move up. And you know, maybe his mind's not in it. I don't know. Maybe his heart's not in it. But over 1 pound, and I mean, it's easy to blame Rodriguez, and it's easy to say he's scared and this and that. It's always easy. But the bottom line is this is nothing new for Neri. And this is something that, you know what, he's going to have to – I'm glad they did this because he's going to have to deal with it now. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nacho.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, At this point, you know, if you can't make weight, you should just move up. There's no point in trying to keep squeezing down and torturing yourself in order to, you know, make a certain weight if you just can't do it anymore. You know, so I
Right.
think he should just suck it up and move up to 122 at this point. Why keep torturing yourself to try to make 18 if you can't make it? And then with the but the fight that took the place of the Mary Rodriguez, I'm happy for Eduardo Ramirez. That KO that he got against Barthelomew's younger brother, that was awesome.
good. Yeah, that was real
I
good.
saw the first fight. I thought he got screwed in that first fight. I thought he deserved to win that fight, but I thought the judges bent over backwards to give Bartholomew a draw in that fight. So for him to come out and say, "Oh, I'm not going to leave it in their hands. I'm just going to go out there and beat this guy up and get him out of there," that was awesome. How he took him out last night, and you know, good win for him, and he'll definitely become a player at 26 for somebody. You know, somebody will hopefully give him a shot at a big fight. Because, you know, the guy has proven he can fight at world-class competition. So it'll be interesting to see if somebody gives him a shot. And then with the Callum Smith-John Ryder fight, man, talk about some really unbelievable home cooking for Callum Smith. I thought that Ryder got screwed on those cards. I thought that Ryder went out there and he gave it his all, and he made it a really, really tough fight. And for them to basically disrespect him and say that at most he won 3, maybe 4 rounds, I thought that was a slap in the face to the poor guy, because he went out there and he put it all out there, and they just basically, it almost felt like they filled out the scorecards before the fight was even over. You know, giving Smith the benefit of every round. It just, I was just shocked. But, you know, he's the bigger name and he's the champ, and they're going to try to make him, you know, one of the guys that's going to, you know, get a shot at somebody like Benavidez or Plant or one of the other champions. So I don't think they wanted to upset the apple cart, but that's tough. I hope Ryder gets another shot at him, or at least he gets another big fight, because he didn't deserve to get that terrible decision that they gave him yesterday. And then the Cancio Alvarado fight, man, Alvarado just went out there and took it to him. Like, he just jumped on Cancio and never let up. And Cancio just looked like he was stuck in first gear all night and wasn't able to do anything to stem the tide or, you know, turn the tide in his favor. And Alvarado just jumped on him and took him apart and got the stoppage. And now he's a world champ. And he should have the real title at 130 for the WBA, not that BS title that they gave Santa Cruz for beating Flores last night in a really tepid performance. Like, that fight was probably the toughest fight of all of those fights last night that we're on to watch, because Flores legitimately tried to basically not get hit the entire time. He would hit Santa Cruz and then hold, hit, hold, hit, hold. And then it wasn't until like the 7th or 8th round when finally Tony Weeks got tired of it and said, "Okay, I'm going to take a point away from this guy, and that way, you know, he'll stop doing that." And he did, and the fight kind of got a little bit better action-wise, but by then it was too late. Like, Flores basically got beat really easily in that fight, and Santa Cruz collects another title. It'll be interesting to see if they give him either Gary Russell or Gervonta Davis. I don't think they will.
I don't think he's getting either one of those fights. He ain't getting either one of those fights.
Yeah, I think he keeps getting these Miguel Flores, Rafael Rivera type guys.
Yep. They're not giving it to him.
From this point on.
Gary Russell doesn't want to fight him. Gary Russell wants to fight once a year. Gary Russell doesn't want to fight him. And Gary Russell's good, and that's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be fighting a couple of times. He fights once a year. Why is the WBC on him? Why aren't they taking that belt away?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't get that either.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I really don't. Yeah, that he only fights once a year. And, I mean, outside of the Jojo Diaz fight, which was a mandatory, he hasn't fought anybody that was a legit, like, contender since he won that belt. He's fought nothing but, like, optional defenses and guys who had, like, no chance of beating him. Yeah, it's crazy. But, I mean, Russell has come out and said he doesn't care about being a star or having a legacy. To him, it's all about that paycheck at the end of the day. So
Right.
if fighting once a year and getting paid once a year is good for him, then that's his choice. That's up to him. That he's that's how he's doing his careers, and you can't really tell him anything. And yeah, that's about it, guys.
All right,
I'm
Nacho.
sure you guys have other people on the phone.
All right,
All right,
Nacho,
guys.
we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much,
All right, see
man.
ya.
Yeah, always does a good job breaking down them fights, man. All right, real quick, let me go on before I go back to the phones here. Let's clear up the rest of the card here, and then I want to talk about that Callum Smith fight here. Leo Santa Cruz with unanimous decision over Miguel Flores, 117-110 twice and 115-112. Like I said, man, my dad had the fight scouted right, man. This was not easy for Santa Cruz, but in the end, he was too much for Flores. After the fight, he calls out Gary Russell, Gervonta Davis. I don't think he gets either one of those guys next. And I don't know who he gets next, to be honest with you. Brandon Figueroa and Julio Ceja fought to a draw, 115-113 for Figueroa, 116-112 for Ceja, and 114 all coming in a draw. Ceja came in, again, 4 pounds heavy for this fight. I don't know. And let me tell you what, man, as I'm watching this fight, Beeb, and maybe you can speak to this, I don't know why they don't teach defense over at the Figueroa gym. Him or his brother lead with their head. They get hit so much. It's not good for them. I mean, if they would learn some defense, it would make their lives a ton easier.
And they were talking about how, Figueroa should use his range, his height, his reach, but
yeah,
he always fights like this, no matter who he's fighting. So it's not like
both of them do.
He never really did like to fight from the outside, anyways.
No. They got a lot of a run with him being a model or whatever like that. They kept talking about that, going on and on about it. And then Eduardo Ramirez versus Ledwan Bartholomew. Ramirez scores a 4th round TKO over Bartholomew. You know who I like on that show? I like Jordan Plant. I like her interviews. She does a better job interviewing. She's like more professional, I think. That Heidi Androl.
She sounds like a fan too much.
She's such a fangirl. She was over there fangirling out, drooling all over Wilder and everything like that. Dude, come on, man.
You could tell there's a physical attraction there.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, but it seemed like that with everybody she interviewed, from the cornermen on out.
She was all over Wilder. I wouldn't be surprised if she asked him out.
It's possible. I wouldn't be surprised she asked the cornermen out too, because she was all over them too.
I mean, I had to turn her down a few times when she was talking to me.
You turned her down?
I had to, man.
You had to.
I got too much going on over here. You know how
I know how Beeb rolls, boy. Beeb's ladies man.
I got a Rolodex over here.
Jason said she's married. How would Jason know that? You know what? Jason's funny because he knows like the Twitter addresses of like the ring card girls and everything like that. He knows like all those addresses.
What's the payday over at the PBC headquarters, Jason? They get paid on Thursdays? What happens? This guy knows everything. What are they serving? What are they serving at the employee cafeteria down at the PBC headquarters tomorrow, Jason? What's on the menu?
Igloo 2 said he likes Heidi. There you go. He likes Heidi. I can't stand Heidi.
She's cute though. She is cute.
Oh yeah, she's cute. I mean, when she's on TV, of course she's gonna be cute. What, are they gonna put a dog on TV? Of course she's cute. They're all cute. Her personality sucks though. It's the way it is.
So Jordan Knight got married to Callum Plant recently, right?
Jordan Knight, this is the Backstreet. Who's this? Who's it?
Jordan Hardy. What's his name? Jordan.
Who's Jordan Knight?
Oh,
wasn't
from
he one of the boy bands or whatever?
Yeah, New Kids on the Block. What's her maiden name? Jordan Hardy.
Jordan Hardy. That's what it was. She got married to Caleb Plant.
When did you get married to him? How long ago?
I don't know, but her last name's Plant, so I'm assuming they got married. Yeah. So there you go, man. That's funny, man. That's funny. All right, let's talk about this Callum Smith real quick. The most controversial fight of the weekend, Callum Smith defeats John Ryder by unanimous decision, 117-111 and 116-112 twice. Listen, man, I had the fight 115-113 for Smith. Everybody calling this a robbery needs to pump the brakes because it was not a robbery. I saw it pretty much the same way the judges did, to be honest, man. I didn't see I didn't see a robbery. A lot of close rounds. Some could have went either way. But and I mean, I wouldn't begrudge you if you had it for John Ryder. I mean, you had it for John Ryder, but this was not a robbery, man. Come on.
I had it for Ryder, but like I said,
Yeah.
there was rounds in there that were swing rounds. The first round, the eighth round, and I'm sure there was a few others. The fight was very close, but I did have it 116 to 112 for Ryder, like one of the other judges did.
Yeah.
But it was a tough fight, And again,
Yeah.
because Ryder was such a heavy underdog, and Smith was so heavily favored in the fight. Then if the fight is remotely competitive,
Right.
then the underdog's gonna everyone's gonna jump on the underdog bandwagon, And this is how it always is.
Hamed said Smith got bullied. Yeah, in spots. But you know what? If Ryder would have fought that fight, like he did in spots, the entire fight, but took it to him, he wins that fight. He only fought in spots, and he didn't fight enough to win a lot of those rounds. That's it, man.
I thought he outworked Smith, but
I don't know, man.
The thing was this: he put his head right in Smith's chest.
Yeah.
And Smith was kind of like had tunnel vision. He was looking right at him.
Right.
And while he had his head in his chest, he's sitting there going like this, wrapping shots, and Smith can't see those shots coming out of through his peripheral vision, because Ryder was just right in his chest, kind of covering up his sight and stuff.
Yeah.
And he just made the fight real awkward. And you could see that Smith had a hard time dealing with Ryder on the inside. This is a blueprint that Canelo could follow if Canelo was ever going to fight Smith.
I was just going to say that, man. That being said, and I like Callum Smith, Canelo murks that guy, son. That fight ain't coming off, man.
It's crazy. Canelo could run that division, except for Jesse Benavidez there. Or what's his name? Jose or Jesse? I know I can't get the brother.
Jose. I think it's Jose Benavidez.
So Jose Benavidez.
He might be the best guy, but again, man, Callum Smith gets beat by another guy, I got him. He won the tournament, so I gotta ride with him. But
I think Jose Benavidez is the best.
You may be right. Man.
I like him.
Hopefully, we'll find out. But yeah, he may be right. All right, all the way from England, Hamed, you're live.
Yes, how's it going, Eddie? Beeb.
What's happening, man?
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. Doing good.
Yeah, first, I thought the Ryder fight, that was very controversial. I've seen a couple of people that I follow said it wasn't a robbery, but I didn't watch the full fight. I watched it from round 4 or 5. But I was listening to because I was about to go to sleep. I'm trying to wake up for the Wilder fight, but I didn't listen to the radio commentary. And to me, it seemed like in the first couple of rounds was basically what was happening throughout the fight. The Ryder was the one who it looked like they're taking the pace, landing maybe not all the shots, but he was the one who was pushing Smith back and landing majority of the harder, cleaner shots. I think if Smith maybe got a draw, I don't think many people would have maybe screamed robbery. It's just the fact that one judge gave Smith 9 rounds and given Ryder 3. I just find that hard to see. And even the other two that gave him 8, I think that's a bit of a stretch. I think at best maybe you could give him 6 rounds. Even that, I think it was being extremely generous. To me, it looked like Ryder won about 7, maybe 8 rounds. If you think it was close, I don't have complaints with that, but it was just the way the fight was scored, and it being in Liverpool on a matchroom show, I think that's why so many people were annoyed. And it happened so often that boxing fans are kind of sick of it. When the B-side fighter goes to the A-side fighter's hometown, this being in Liverpool, it's just people are saying that before the decision was even announced that it's going to be a robbery, and you don't want to see stuff like that. Like John Ryder, I think not many people gave him a chance. And I'm not sure if he'll get another title shot. That's the bad thing about boxing. Someone made a reference. It's as bad as I think it's Romendo Beltran and Ricky Burns' decision. I think you could argue that. And I think the only difference was Burns got dropped in that fight. But it just happened so many times. I'm not sure if Eddie Hearn paying off some of these judges. It's just, I really can't stand stuff like that. But is it the worst decision? Probably not. But that doesn't mean justify stuff like that. I think if the judge who gave Council 9-1 should be questioned for that. Like, you can't be pulling scorecards like that. But I mean, I've seen some people say Smith won. I find it hard to see how you could give Smith so many rounds. There's a couple of people I respect, like that I think Smith won, and it was the right decision. I just completely disagree here, but I respectfully disagree. Like, if you think that's okay, I just couldn't see that. But I thought that was a good fight as well. It's better than anticipated. How did you guys score that fight?
I had it 115, 113 for Smith. I had it pretty much. I was pretty much in line with most of the judges. I gave Ryder the last 2 rounds, but honestly, I thought that he just didn't do enough. He didn't do enough. I mean, he would bully him in spots, and he looked great in spots, and then he lets up, and Calvin Smith does his thing, and I just didn't think he did enough.
I had it for Ryder 116 and 112.
Yeah.
So I had it the other way.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people saw. I thought that's how I saw it. That's why I thought the decision. I was gonna say on Wilder Ortiz, that was a very bad undercut, and that was horrible. Like, I tried going to sleep, I did fall asleep, so I missed the whole Figueroa fight. I'm not sure. I mean, that was maybe the best fight I've had.
Yeah, it was.
My God, that Santa Cruz fight was bad. That was horrible.
I thought it was a good fight. I thought that was a good. Listen, man. I liked all of them. I liked all the fights on that card, man. I thought they were good, man. I thought.
I don't know about that. I really don't. That Santa Cruz fight was bad. I think a lot of people on Twitter, Steve Kim, Dan Raphael, these guys. I think you guys probably follow. They all saying the same thing. I mean, this meant to be a bit more objective. Maybe they shouldn't be as critical. I think they used to do it with guys like Rigo, but it just wasn't a good undercard. After Luis Neary pulled out and that fight with Payano was pulled out, that didn't help. But that's not Al Heyman's fault, obviously, what happened with that. But it's just the other fights were not good. Maybe the knockout in the first fight, when Barthélemy got knocked out, that wasn't too bad. Some people said the Figueroa fight was okay. I missed it, so I can't comment. But I've seen bits of that. That looked like an okay fight. I thought the Wilder Ortiz fight was pretty bad as well. Like, don't get me wrong, it was something that a lot of people anticipated, waiting for Wilder's right hand to land. But the actual fight wasn't that good. I thought Ortiz boxed well. He's a good fighter. I'm not sure we'll ever find out how good he really was, because he hasn't really fought anyone outside. Maybe you can say Brian Jennings. And the guy he did fight, Wilder, he's lost twice. Even though he gave a good account of himself, I think in both fights, it's hard to say right now where he goes. I think that could be the end of his career. With Wilder, I think Wilder's must-see TV. I don't know why so many people are critical of him inside the ring. Outside the ring, his decisions, the things he says, I get that, but I really enjoy watching him fight, even though I'm not really a fan of the guy outside the ring. I think inside the ring, if you don't have boxers like that, I think boxing could be a really boring sport. It is about entertainment, even though I really think he is really bad and he can't do anything about his boxing skills. But you want to see guys like that with just one punch you can end a fight there. I thought he was losing about 6 or 7, almost 7-0 after the 7th round was about to end, and then Ortiz got clipped. But I'm not sure if anyone could beat him. But I think the only guy that could maybe knock him out, who got the power, even him, I don't know right now, is probably Joshua. But apart from that, even Joshua right now, I think Joshua gets knocked out unless he somehow beats Andy Ruiz and gets his punch resistance back. The only guy I think that could probably beat him is Tyson Fury. I think Fury is much better than Ortiz to be fair. He's got faster feet, faster reflexes, better head movement. He's younger, the list goes on. He's beaten this guy in the Klitschko, and he's beaten basically better guys. He could do that for 12 rounds. But the big question in there is if Wilder hits him and lands again, I think Wilder will probably knock him out. But I've heard the theory, some people have said it. Wilder landed his best shot. The Fury got back up. Can Wilder do anything? But I'm not sure. The last 2 guys he's fought, he's put them both down. They have not
beat the count. And I thought that was a long count. I think Kenny Bayless gave Ortiz about 11 and a half seconds. That was a long count. And Ortiz still couldn't make it. He's trying to, I think, put his thumb shield. So I think if Wilder lands in the rematch, he can knock him out. That's why I'll probably say it's 50-50. But if Fury is as good as he was, say in the Klitschko fight and in burst what he did in the first Wilder fight, he was not affected by what happened with the cut against Otto Walling. Then I think Fury could outbox him. But I would like to see Wilder go forward fighting unification. Like I've heard some of his fans saying like Joshua Deptin, and that goes back and forth. But he was a champion in 2015. I think he became a pro in 2008. He could have unified with Klitschko. I think it was Joshua, obviously, Joseph Parker. It's a lot of fighters. Even Tyson Fury when he had the belt. So they can't all have been decking him. I would like to see him, if he's not fighting Tyson Fury or his mandatory Dylan White, then I would like to see him fight maybe the winner of Joshua Ruiz, although I'm not sure Joshua will want to take that fight or his anglers right now. Like, if they beat Ruiz, I think they're going down the Tyson Fury route or the Usyk route, because I'm not sure if you want to get Joshua knocked out again.
All right, Hamed.
Dangerous fight for Joshua right now.
All right, man. We appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you so much, man. Calling in from the UK, baby. From Beeb. It's like 3 in the morning over there. Or 2.
3 in the morning, baby.
Something like that over there.
Nice tea and crumpet time, Daddy.
Crazy. Got a couple more calls, so we got to get out of here at 9, guys. So we got to get moving here. All right. 7:06. You're live.
Hi, Jason.
Thanks to Hamed for Hamed for the dose of NyQuil as always.
How you doing, Jason?
Wow.
How you doing, Jason?
What's up, Beepster? How you doing, Beepster?
Look at you two with the pet names.
Why are you going so fucking Why are you guys going so fucking hard on Neri for 1 point, dude? Did you even see the weigh-in? The guy looked like he was
tough.
Fucking
tough. That's boxing. Tough.
I mean, yeah, but whatever.
Tough.
Yeah, whatever.
He does it all the time. That's why we're going.
Piping down.
You know what? He goes. He does this all the time.
Talking shit about him. Better calm down.
He does this all the time.
All the time. This is the second time he did it.
It's like the 4th time he's done it. Dude. Come on, son.
Jason.
But dude, there's so many legends throughout boxing history that have done it multiple times. It happens. I mean, it's not like he's purposely trying to do it.
Then he's got to deal with it. Then he deals with the consequences. Yeah, but
he's going to move up soon. He is dealing with the consequences. So
he didn't fight. So there you go.
More whataboutisms. More whataboutisms.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You seem more bothered by it than him. It's fine. I mean, dude, there's so many people that have missed weight, and that guy's fucking ribcage was sticking out of the way.
Nacho just came on and said Mary's done it 4 times. Jason, you can't defend it. That's what Nacho says to you.
Nacho
schooled you. Nacho just called you a liar.
Is that the same amount as Diego De La Hoya?
Nacho just railroaded you, son. He just stiff armed you, son. Walked right into the end zone.
Nacho just blasted you.
He just blasted you,
let's keep that same energy about Diego De La Hoya.
Man.
Yeah.
Nacho murked you, son.
Diego De La Hoya off, and fuck out of here. Dude, Neri versus Brandon Figueroa is going to happen. He doesn't need a 118. He'll be fine.
That's a good fight.
He can fight Bobby Ali or whatever, too. I don't know.
Nacho says Diego De La Hoya has done it 3 times. What's this?
No, okay. I thought Brandon should have gotten the win, man. Especially since that piece of shit. Dude, why didn't you mention him missing, like, you didn't go off on him for missing weight by 4 pounds. Dude.
I did. You didn't listen.
At least not to brought it up. You didn't
I did. I did the other night.
Yeah, but you didn't go off on him like Neri. You didn't
go
off on him. You didn't go off on him like Neri.
I did.
Like, you just have
because
you
know why? Because Neri has done this a billion times. Neri's done this a billion times. That's why I didn't go off on him.
This is the first time he's done it on PBC, so let's give him a break. This is the first time on the big stage.
Sean Newton says you only like Neri because he's on PBC. Sean Newton just iced you. He just bodied you, son.
Sean Newton.
I'm Sean Newton's favorite host, by the way. He just bodied you, son.
Dude, that's the same line he's been using for fucking 6 years. Come on.
Bodied
you.
He
has no fucking creativity. Same fucking line.
Bodied you, son.
Same line he's been sitting in that crack den eating shit. Also,
peed all over
what did you guys
son.
What did you guys think about? Shut up, dude. Let me speak. Come on, man. What's up with you?
He's mad.
Like you're the only fucking guy that I've heard. Dude, this is the only guy I've heard said that counts with one. There's nobody else that said counts with one except Eddie Hearn in fucking Florida. Who else said that?
That and those 3
I
judges.
haven't heard anybody say that fucking count one.
Yeah, that and those 3 judges, son.
What? Who cares about the judges? Who cares about
Yeah,
that?
who cares about the judges? They just give you the fight. Who cares about them?
Yeah, you're the one who was fucking crying about Wilder getting a tie against Fury. You're the one that was crying about that too.
Me and Beeb were both crying about it.
Trying to rescue the judges, rescue you. Come on.
Told you.
You really thought he won, man? What fight were you watching? Were you really drinking and scoring or something? There's no way he won that fight. He was like,
Yeah, I thought he won.
his shots all night.
Did you watch it? You watched the fight? Did you even see the fight? How did you score the fight? How'd you score the fight?
I had it just like me, 116, 112 for Ryder.
Yeah! Yeah!
You know he didn't score that fight, Beeb.
How you doing, Beeb?
Hi, Jason.
I had the identical cards, bro. Whatever
He had
Beeb
identical
I had.
cards.
Whatever
You
Beeb
know what he
had.
did? You know what he did? Because I tweeted it on Twitter. He copied and pasted it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I know. I saw that on Twitter. Yeah.
I watched it. I watched it on VIP Box. How made it thing? I didn't watch it. I watched it live. So
Yeah.
It was early in the day. So I watched
Yeah,
it.
but you had a stream that was like probably stuttering and stuff.
Yeah, it was. It was a little bit. VIP Box is not the best, but
Horrible streams.
But it still was pretty good.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was pretty good. I had like some HD streams too on Twitter, but
Nacho said you didn't watch the fight at
man, I
all.
don't know. What do you guys think about?
He said you didn't watch it.
Nacho was fucking partying. Nacho was partying with Oscar. He didn't even watch the fucking Wilder Fury fight. Did you guys see Rogan? He's the one like praising Wilder more than anybody. He's like, Wilder's probably one of the best heavyweights ever. He posted a knockout video on his IG. It's got like 3 million views already. So you know, whenever I hear Rogan speak about Wilder, he's like always giving him so much praise. And boxing people don't really do that. That's why UFC is so big, you know? Because Rogan is always praising the fucking fighters and shit. All these fucking guys like Dan Rafael and Brian Kenny, they're always taking shots at Wilder, which is probably not good for our sport.
Did you hear the broadcast last night? It was like a Wilder love-in. You kidding me? It was like a Wilder love fest. They were all loving on him.
He was like, Brian Kenny was like fucking giggling. He was like, I don't know what Wilder's wearing, but it looks like whatever. He was like giggling and shit. I don't know why they brought fucking Brian Kenny on.
Because you're not really used to seeing a grown man come out in a
versus,
gladiator
KSI.
outfit. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He should stay on fucking MLB. He doesn't belong in boxing. That guy sucks.
He works for the zone.
Kenny Albert. He keeps his.
He works for the zone.
Yeah, and he's coming. He's coming from KSI versus Logan to a great fight like this. That's like a slap in the face to boxing. Like guys like that shouldn't even be allowed to call boxing fights anymore.
How dare you?
Yeah, but
KSI versus Logan
fucking
Paul was a
over
good fight.
KSI.
You know, I did the BuzzFeed interview for that one. That's right.
Fucking somebody tweeted. Just think about it. If Wilder would have signed to fucking the zone, he could have been fighting Fury in Kansas, and that's so right.
Fury.
There was no guarantee over it. There's no guarantee of him fucking getting AJ anyway. Now fucking Andy has to go over to that fucking shithole to fight him over there. It's just fucking shady as hell.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Nobody's even talking about that. And why isn't anybody talking about that, dude? Do we even know who's the commission? Like they just said,
Who?
New York
Who's he talking
Commission
about?
will assist. Like who's taking the AJ Ruiz fight? Who's the lead commission? Who's going to be taking charge of all that?
I think the New York
Who's going to be
Commission.
doing the drug testing over there?
I thought the New York. Yeah, there is drug testing for it. I thought
they'll assist.
there was somebody. I think somebody was handling that. I can't remember who. I thought it was Vada or something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, what was wrong with that guy last week, Matt Chicago? That caller was good. Why were you guys on his case? Don't boycott him. Let him call it. That was one of the best callers you guys ever had.
I knew you'd like him. I knew you'd like him.
And you know why? Also, you guys were saying that Wilder versus Fury is not next. That fight is next. You know why? Because I'm gonna piggyback off of something he said. Shelley and Aram, they're from the same tribe. Let's just say, to be PC, they're from the same tribe. Shelley signed that fucking contract behind Al Hidden's back. As soon as fucking Aram signed Fury, he knew he had to fucking protect Aram's investment. Because I think that's a bad move by Shelley to fucking get a Wilder all caught up in that shit. They should have never signed that shit. And it's already signed, man. He can't fight Andy if he beats AJ again. He has to fucking beat Fury, then fight Andy. So there's a lot of risk for Wilder, And that's all because of Shelley. I think that Wilder needs to fire him and stick close to Al Heyman. He doesn't need a fucking guy like Shelley in the middle. Shelley is the guy that used to handle Mike Tyson. I don't trust that guy.
Yeah, he's only got him to where he is now. Why would he need him around? It's not like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but what has he done really? Al Heyman could have done it. Al Heyman could have done the same thing just for 10%. He's losing extra 10% to Shelley.
Oh, man.
He doesn't need Shelley around.
All right, Jason, listen, man, we gotta get bouncing here. We gotta move.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
They're from the same tribe. What's the matter with him? What's the matter with him? 312, you're live.
Flight Doctor is in the house on Rick James status.
FD!
Doctor.
Fight Diggity Doctor.
So I want to say happy Turkey Day to everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I heard that Beeb is having the Ringside Reporter Turkey Day special at his place. So
there you go. That's
Beeb,
right.
I'll see you at 7 o'clock promptly.
Can't wait, brother. Lois, add another setting.
So I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. Right. So add a another setting to the table for the Flight Doctor.
That's right.
That's it.
So keep this short and sweet, gentlemen. So once again, Wilder shows us exactly how hard he can punch. Yeah, I honestly don't think that Fury wants to see Wilder in the rematch for two reasons. One, I don't think that eye has healed properly.
I don't think so either.
I saw him do an interview about 2-3 weeks ago, and that eye looked real bad. And this is, weeks after the fact. And then two, the question is, who has more room for improvement, right? So they fought a close fight. If anyone wants to argue that Fury won, I wouldn't argue against that. Fury did outbox Wilder, for much of the fight. To be completely honest, he did. Anyone who says it's a robbery obviously doesn't know how to score boxing because, knockdowns count. And, this isn't the amateurs, and Fury was throwing a lot of nonsensical, pity-pat, ineffective punches that I saw. But the question is, who has more room for improvement? And looking, what I saw in that fight is I saw one guy fight a really stupid fight, and I saw the other guy fight essentially the fight of his life. That guy being Fury. He was able to make Wilder miss. He was able to make him look amateurish at points in the fight. He was able to survive that Glaciers knockdown in the 12th round. But I maintain, had Fury caught up to him earlier in the fight, he probably wouldn't have got out. So I think if and when the rematch happens, we'll probably see something of a repeat, except this time it doesn't take Wilder 12 rounds to find Fury. So obviously Wilder has more room for improvement, and I think he'll make the necessary adjustments. I don't think that Fury can improve upon his performance in the first fight. Yeah, sure, he'll be able to outbox Wilder, much like Ortiz is able to do, but I think now that Wilder has had a chance to see Fury, he's had a chance to see Ortiz twice, I think he's still improving. He's still improving. And I think his interview was very telling that, he was, sort of trying to control the distance and trying to find his range. And once he was able to find his range, once he was able to get his timing down, once he was able to sort of, figure out exactly what Ortiz was doing, he was able to scope out an opening for that right hand, and then it was Nagasaki and Hiroshima all in one. So I think that's what Fury has to look forward to. And, I just don't think, if I were Fury, listen, if I were Fury, I'm trying to get as much money as I can in the Wilder rematch because I think Wilder probably sends him into retirement. So that's all I got, John.
All right. Very good. Thank you so much, Fight Doctor, as usual. Great call. A lot of people think that it's going to be a knockout when when this happens again. Fury's going to knock him out, or Fury's going to be knocked out. I don't know. It's not that cut and dry, man. Again, you're talking about a guy who's gotten, that shot off for 40-some fights, but, I don't think he lands it every time. I mean, it's just one of those things, man. And if anybody laid out a blueprint to beat Wilder, it was Fury. So see what happens. I don't know. We'll see, but it's going to be interesting. All right, on the zone, Alvarado wins by TKO over Andrew Cancio. Fight was stopped at the end of the 7th. Zucan wins a unanimous decision over Manny Robles by the scores of 120 to 108, 119 109, and 118 to 110. Beeb, your boy, Peter Manfredo on UFC Fight Pass comes back, knocks out Melvin Russell in the first round.
That's the man.
How about that? Hey, from your neck of the woods. There we go. All right, let's talk about the upcoming fights here. And I'm trying to see here. There's not much on next week. November 30th from Las Vegas on ESPN Plus. Oscar Valdez versus Andres Gutierrez. 10 rounds for the WBC Junior. It's a WBC Junior Lightweight Eliminator. To me, this is the fight of the weekend. Beeb, this is the fight. This is the one I'm going to be looking forward to. I think it's going to be good. I think a lot of people haven't heard of him, but I think it's going to be really good. Carl Frampton is in a 10-rounder against Ohio's own Tyler McCrary. And I'm going to go on record right now. I think Tyler McCrary does the upset here. I think he beats him. I think it's a bad style matchup for Frampton. I really do. So we'll see what happens there. That's on ESPN Plus. Also on ESPN Plus from Birmingham, England, Lerone Richards versus Lennox Clark, 12 rounds for Richards, Commonwealth and vacant British super middleweight titles. Hamza Shiraz versus Ryan Kelly, 10 rounds. Come on. Who's putting this on? This has got to be MTK, right? Now, in all those, Zolani Tete is fighting on that same card versus John Rio Casimero, 12 rounds for Tete's WBO bantamweight title. How that ended up on the third fight in that on the main, I have no idea. Well, that's not main or co-main, I don't know. Also on November 30th from Monte Carlo on DAZN, Radzab Butayev versus Alexander Vesputin, 12 rounds for the vacant WBA regular welterweight title. How about that's a welterweight title fight, Beeb? That's a welterweight title fight. Yeah. Cecilia Breakhouse versus Victoria Bustos, also on the undercard, 10 rounds for Breakhouse's unified title. She's got all of them. Huey Fury also on the undercard against somebody, Pavel Sauer, journeyman heavyweight. Let's see what else here. That's it for next weekend. But the weekend after that, we've got the big ones. We've got Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua coming up after that, which we'll review next week. So that should be pretty good. All right, let's go to let's see here. The news and rumors here. We got a few minutes left before we have to sign off here. News and rumors. Beeb, Mayweather has said he's coming back. Mayweather, first of all, let me tell you this. I think Mayweather's a giant douche. I really do, man. He always wants to hijack the spotlight from other fighters and turn it on himself. He can't stand anyone else in the limelight. According to various reports and Michael Benson, Floyd Mayweather will fight twice in 2020. They are teasing a crossover fight with MMA, and I'm sure they'll both be exhibitions or whatever. But it's wild. Wilder and Ortiz are having this big pay-per-view, and it's a giant. It's on Fox. It's a big thing. To bring these guys out. And for him to come out there and put this out there on this weekend is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I don't know what his deal is, but he knows how to promote, and he knows how to promote himself. It's unfortunate he doesn't do the same for his own fighters. And everybody, let me tell you what, everybody in the chat picking Carl Frampton next week, I'm telling you, it's a closer fight than you think it's going to be. The guy's got a bad. How many? Have you guys even seen McCrary? You guys ever seen McCrary? Come on, son. I'm telling you, that's the way it is. Titletown, baby. We don't lose. However, from Titletown, Tony Tubbs. You remember him, Beeb? Former heavyweight champion from Titletown. He was arrested for drugs this week. According to court papers, Tubbs was stopped for a traffic violation on November 5th, and then an officer found a white substance in his vehicle. Beeb?
Yeah, we all know what that was, unfortunately.
White girl. It was cocaine, baby. That's what it was.
The white horse.
He was riding a white pony, baby. That was cocaine. That's right. More on the drug scene, Beeb. More on the drug scene. Ryan Martin banned for 4 years over a failed UCAD test because it was the Josh Taylor fight. He was banned now for 4 years. Martin did say he was appealing the ban. Now, is he banned? Will they uphold it over here too? I think they might.
That's a good question. I can't answer that with certainty. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Here's a fight that everybody and their mother is excited for. Jaime Munguia versus Spike O'Sullivan is set for January 11th. Beeb, you excited about that? Middleweight debut for Munguia.
It's not a bad fight.
Really?
It's not a bad fight.
Do you think Spike has a shot?
I would favor Munguia, but it could be ugly for Munguia. Munguia, all his fights are tough. Like the him against Hogan was supposed to be a walkover. It wasn't.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
No fight is easy for Munguia. Just put it that way.
Yeah, there you go. Devin Haney doing his thing this weekend. He visited Skid Row, Beeb, passed out $100 bills. What do you think about that? Nice thing to do.
Very admirable.
Very admirable. Beeb, you ever go to Skid Row and pass out $100 bills?
No, but something we'll probably do in the future.
Something you'll probably do in the future.
We're rolling over here. You know how it goes.
That's right, Beeb. You're a benevolent man. Riddick Bowe is trying to make a comeback. And I don't know how feasible this is. The plan, I thought, was to fight Holyfield first. I heard Holyfield talking about this. And Holyfield was talking about like an exhibition fight. You know, like a 3-rounder or something like that. It sounds like from the article I read from Beeb sent it to me earlier. It sounds like from that article, it sounds like, he's talking about like a, comeback. Like fighting legit guys. Have you seen Riddick Bowe lately?
Doesn't look great, man. Doesn't sound.
He doesn't sound great. I mean,
great.
Listen, man, he could get back. I'm sure he can get back into shape.
I'm not even sure he can do that.
He's a big guy, but I mean, I'm sure he can drop some weight. I mean, you've seen.
Yeah,
you've seen other people.
He could lose weight, but will he be in boxing shape? That's,
right.
That's the big.
That's the other thing. Yeah, that's the other thing.
I don't think that he can, in my opinion. But I don't want to be negative, but he just doesn't look that good.
Yeah, well, mine is he doesn't sound great. I think that's my thing is he doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
And that to me is a red flag because, like when he talks, he's really slurring his words a lot and everything like that. And
yeah,
I don't like to see that. So, I mean, you don't want to see him take too many shots.
Any commission that allows him to fight?
There'll be one. There'll be somebody. There'll be somebody.
There should be.
Didn't Morrison fight with AIDS? Didn't Tommy Morrison fight with AIDS? Like in Colorado or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, somebody's gonna sanction him.
What a shame.
All right. I mean, but yeah, I hope they don't. I mean, just for Bo's safety, I think.
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it either, man. Yeah, that'd be crazy, man. Because like I said, man, he reminds me a lot of like. Have you seen like Terry Norris? Like Terry Norris lately?
Oh, Meldrick Taylor's worse.
Meldrick Taylor, right?
Poor guy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
It's heartbreaking, bro.
You see these guys and they're, I mean, that's just, it's tough to watch, man. It's hard to see that. And so I hope they don't license him, but, I mean, you hate to stand in the way. If this is something he wants, you hate to stand in the way, but at the same time, it's for a safety, for safety reasons. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at jhabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. On Twitter, I'm at ringside73. And that brings me to a good point here. Yeah, guys, tweet the show out. Go on Facebook, tweet the show out and help us out. Go on Twitter and, post that you like it. Tell a friend,
Share the show.
Share it out. Yeah, if you guys like it, you like what we're doing, we entertain you, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, man. Go share the show. Go tell your boys or your girls. Doesn't matter. There you go. All right, and on that note, we will see you next week.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Absolutely. Have a great holiday.